So first of all, now at the COP28, it became clear that we need to accelerate much faster this entire energy transition. We had set the target at 1.5 degrees. We are not getting there. I mean, we hear numbers now with the current plans we have in place. We go maybe to 2.3 degrees. This is bad. And so we need to change. But we need to change is we need to accelerate our projects. I mean, the latest IEA report shows that only from the 1,040 hydrogen projects, only 3.6% gets FID. That's problematic. And so we need to change that. And I hope that here in the COP28, that a lot of new instruments will come. And this is what I see now happening. I saw a couple of pledges. For example, this was this international trade forum that was launched. This will be super important to make sure that hydrogen will be traded as a commodity. And as we know very well, in order to achieve our targets in 2050, hydrogen will play, especially then in Europe, a role in the energy mix of 20 to 24% of the total energy mix. So that means it has to become a trading commodity. So it's a very important initiative that has been taken. On the other hand, also we need to take an initiative here, and I have not yet really heard about this initiative, is we need an instrument for the financing world. We need more finance going towards renewables, towards also hydrogen. And still too much subsidies are still going to the fossil fuels, and I don't think that's the right place. We will not reach the target that I mentioned before if we do not switch from subsidies to fossil fuel to subsidies to renewables. One of the big hurdles is also the amount of renewables that we need. I mean, we need to build massively amount of windmills, solar panels. This is what is important, and we need the finance for that as well. And I welcomed the announcement that they want to triple the production of renewable energy, and this was an announcement for many countries, and I was very welcome that, but we need to speed up. And I think here it's not about too much new announcements on new targets. The targets that we have set in 2030 are already so difficult to reach. Let's talk about here in the COP how to get there. That's the most important at this point in time. Hydrogen will play a super important role. I mean, we have seen now with the war in Ukraine, Russia war, you saw that for Europe, we were just cut off by the natural gas. And so we needed to replace the natural gas. And suddenly the role of hydrogen became much more important. And we had initially our targets were set in Europe by 2030 to around 40 gigawatt. When this energy crisis happened, suddenly now we need to build 120, 150 gigawatt of electrolyzers. It's a huge increase. I mean, it will be extremely difficult to get there, but what was important is that gives, of course, investors, but also project developers, the confidence that there will be a market. So the targets are now so high, I'm sure that it will be extremely difficult to get there because the production of the electrolyzers, for example, they need to ramp up. Today we have maybe 5 gigawatt capacity per year, total capacity. So this is not enough if we need to build 130 gigawatt in 5-6 years. So the capacity will have to ramp up, but also the renewables will have to ramp up. So a lot of things will need to ramp up, and so hydrogen will play now an extremely important role. And the most important, it is recognized by the policymakers that the role of hydrogen is crucial in the entire energy transition. The hydrogen in transition event here is extremely important for us to be here, because, and also extremely important to organize that during the COP28, because we have a dedicated day on hydrogen. So you see that the entire hydrogen family worldwide is coming together, and we discuss, we negotiate, and today it's not yet a competitive market, I'm sorry. The cake is so big, the challenges are so big, the roadblocks that we still have are so big that we need to tackle them all together. So there is not enough projects actually to fulfill all the demand worldwide. So we need to mobilize everybody. We need to share information and knowledge to everybody to get there. You know, by 2050, it was calculated we need 11,500 gigawatt installed to reach our targets in 2050. The biggest project in Europe is 20 megawatt today running. So the step that we need to make is enormously. So if we do not come together, like these events like here at the COP28, really organized by Climate Action, then it will not work. We need to meet, we need to discuss, we need to share our knowledge. It's super important, and also for the networking. I meet here also investors, and that was interesting this year. I see more and more investors are coming, they start to discover hydrogen, and by putting a one day focusing on that, they will come together, we can meet, we can discuss. So the networking, sharing the knowledge, super important this day for us. For me as the CEO of Green Energy Park, we have our booth here. A lot of people start to learn about our big projects that we're gonna do in Brazil, bringing the hydrogen to Europe. And by this, we can attract actually investors, we can attract also interested technology providers, we attract also potential clients. So being here, super important. Congratulations to the organization.